Okay, so here's more of what I always say about why the conscious community hate successful college professors who put in major work and are like real teachers, real master teachers, like real PhDs teaching Ivy League or real colleges. You know what I mean? Who write journals, put together. I mean, but this is an example. Okay, so the brother Harold Johnson, one of my Facebook friends, member of the Amin Ra Squad, asked the question: "Who is your favorite African scholar?" And you can't say me, although I appreciate it. So let's look at the answers, and it's always the same 10 people. I always say the conscious community is always the 10 people. It's 45 million black people, but we always have the same, in general, 10 people that people mention and talk about. Like there's no other people on earth. You know what I mean? And most of these people had it wrong and got it wrong. Okay, let's see the answers. Ivan Van Sertima, the guy who wrote the book, um, came before Columbus, teaching that we the Olmecs. These are people's favorite scholars, okay? Now, Harold Johnson's a scholar, and this is a good example to show. You can respect his friends list, huh? They're full of scholars, or so-called scholars. Ivan Van Sertima says, John Henry Clark, because I can't choose out of them, um, two is my number one. Let's just roll through this real quick. Diop. A lot of people say Dr. Amos Wilson. He's actually one of mine, too. Dr. Amos Wilson. Let me get a little clearer. Not familiar with that person. Henry Louis Gates Skip Jr. Now, when we get to Henry Louis Gates, the baddest person on this list, the true real scholar, credentials at the yin yang, produced so much shit, just put out the Black Church documentary, guess what you get? People laughing like he's a joke. And another person like, and he just, in Harold's post, so, he just like button his post. But the two emojis you get is somebody laughing and somebody doing, now, check this out. The only two people who got that scoff and laugh at was guess who? You're not going to see any more laughs or scoffs. Okay? Until you get down to right here, Dr. York, the pedophile and cult leader. They laughed. Now, I'm not sure if he was joking, possibly, but you never know with these niggas. He got a laugh. Like people said it's a joke. Out of all these people talking and listening, only two got a laugh like there's some joke or piece of shit. They think that real man, Dr. Henry Louis Gates, who is more brilliant than anyone on this whole entire page, written about, people talked about, done more work than all of them, is respected huge in the world of academia. He got scoffed at. This is what I'm telling you about the conscious community. You know why? Because they don't like you if you're not bashing white folk and yelling at the top of your lungs black power and catering to your emotions. That's what the conscious community is about. Catering to your racist emotions. And you don't know no better and you fall in line. The shit is backwards. The conscious community is backwards. But let's just go on and see before my camera cut off what people pick. Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Welsing. Dr. Welsing, who talked about genetic annihilation, white people being genetically annihilated, and that's what they fear. And that's why they develop their sports this way, throwing the brown ball in the white net. That's what that means. The black man's balls going into the white woman in the white net. That's one of their master teachers. I used to love that book, but I realized it was pseudo as hell. Talking about the brown bat symbolizes the black man's penis, and he's hitting the white ball, which is symbolic of the white man. Yeah, I mean the pool. I mean just all these sports and now this pseudo, but that caters to people's emotions. They like that, so she became top notch. But outside of that, she is a uh, 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 um, she is a legit doctor though. Chancellor Williams, Diop, the melanin test man, claiming that the Egyptians are black, the father of Afrocentricity. I'm not sure who Lewis Gordon is. Chancellor Williams, he's a cool cat. A lot of these cats, though, in my opinion, in hindsight, were great storytellers. They tell little historical stories and with humor. And that was fun. I liked it that. But it's not really deep scholarship, in my opinion, in hindsight. So the conscious community is still stuck. They're stuck in these old ways, in these old teachings. John Cotton Blody, a pseudo-linguist, one of Asar's buddies or teachers. Well, I don't know. Shake Ante DF again. Somebody said Dr. Umar and Tariq Nasheed. Now you never know with these niggas if they serious or not. But that's a fucking joke. I'll tell you that. But you never know with these niggas. They are your favorite scholars. Are they serious putting Tariq Nasheed? He's not a scholar. He's an entertainer. See, that's what I'm saying. Conscious people love entertainers. Storytelling. Being humorous when you storytell. You know what I mean? That's what when in hindsight, when you think about it, like when I listen to a Dr. Ben lecture today, like if I listen to some university lecture on Egypt, it's just some deep and into. But if I listen to Ben, although it's more entertainment, he's funny. He tells stories. And then I drop some scholarship once and then tell 8 stories. It's entertainment in hindsight. So when you keep stuck, it's like people stuck in the Democratic Party. That's what this is. People are still stuck. So real college professors who ain't catering to your emotions and entertaining you and like that are not wanted. They're not respected in the conscious community. This is why I go in. Now, people, we got to change this. Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Clark, Dr. Sheikh Ante. I'm reading this to my phone, so if I fucking up, excuse me. Dr. Ben, Amos Wilson is here a lot. Dr. Asa Hilliard. All these are Afrocentric. Now, I would insert. There's a lot of black college professors. They don't consider themselves Afrocentrics. They just African study majors and professors. They're not in bed with Afrocentrics like people think. Afrocentrism was here to combat Eurocentrism. That's what it's basically about. It was racism combating racism. But it was both racism. It's about both stealing and claiming cultures. Whites were saying they was the Egyptians, and this is in 1800, excuse me, 1800s and shit like, but it was scientific racism going on for a reason and things like that. So sometimes white folks was claiming that they was Egyptian. They don't do that today, But then black folks start claiming they're the Egyptians. White folk been stopped doing that. I'm talking about been stopped doing that. White folk today and their scholars don't claim to be the ancient Egyptians. They will never tell you no white scholars will tell you that, like I'm talking about people like England and Germany over there. They're not going to tell you they're the ancient Egyptians. None. Only African American scholars and so-called scholars claim that and carry that on. You guys get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So they go Dr. York. They scoffed at York only out of all these people. It's a whole list of people. Dr. Joy. Now, she's entertaining too. But I like Dr. Joy. But she speaks on the post-traumatic slave syndrome. That's her lane. That's her gig. Post-traumatic slave syndrome, which is an entertaining topic to people. And it taps into their emotions. It's not you breaking down some scholarship on different subjects, some deep stuff. So what I'm saying is, that's why I said there's more people to listen to in the world. Every YouTube channel has a university. Excuse me. Every university has a YouTube channel. You can pull up any subject and get a lecture and listen. If you do this, you're going to be stuck. It's 2021. This genome wasn't mapped when a lot of these people were kicking shit. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of the information a lot of these people kicking are outdated. So I just wanted to talk about that. I just wanted to show and prove what I'm talking about. People hate real professor scholars if you're not bashing white folk and yapping black power and stealing culture and claiming other cultures. They don't take to you. Dr. York and the baddest motherfucking black scholar we have in America, Henry Louis Gates, got scoffed at. Imagine that. Imagine the mindset of the conscious community of one of the so-called top scholars. And these are all his good friends, scholarly friends. Just think about the mindset. If this higher level conscious community scholar people are thinking like this, just imagine you lower intelligence conscious community people. If they scoff at 2 people out of about 20 people on here, and that's the baddest motherfucker and a pedophile, you got Henry Louis associated with a pedophile in the same bracket in your mind? This is insanity. Shameful.